It was a Friday evening, a night when the tiresome feeling of the week fades into a quiet hope for rest. Maybe we would eat, maybe we would watch a movie. My wife, Mary, had been acting distant lately. Her focus was split between her phone and mysterious outings for work. That night, as I was fixing dinner, she came down the stairs wearing a dress that looked like she was going to a fancy event. A tight dress, bright red lipstick, high heels I hadn't seen in 6 months. "Going out with my friends," she announced, avoiding looking at me. Her phone buzzed twice in her hand, and I noticed a small nervous smile she tried to hide. Something felt wrong. I kept my voice calm. "Of course," I said. "When will you be back?" She just shrugged and grabbed her purse. "Don't wait for me," she said quickly, her voice too careless, too rehearsed. Then she left the house with a faint smell of perfume following her. The words, "Don't wait for me," stayed in the air like a dare. My gut feeling told me the night was not what she claimed, so I chose to test the truth with just one text. I took my phone and wrote, "Have fun with Jake." Then I pressed send. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the typing bubble appeared, disappeared, came back, and vanished again. 5 minutes passed. No answer. Then suddenly my phone started ringing. Mary's name flashed on the screen over and over, but I did not pick up. I sat on the couch with my arms crossed, waiting. Another text popped up. "What are you trying to say?" I stayed silent. 2 minutes later, another text came in, very panicked this time. "What are you talking about?" Still, I said nothing. And then, out of nowhere, I heard car tires screeching outside our house. The front door flew open. Mary rushed in, gasping for air, terrified, her eyes wide as if she had seen a ghost. Her phone was still in her hand, and she looked around as if expecting someone else to show up. "What did you mean by that text?" she demanded, her voice shaking. I did not answer right away. I just looked at her calmly and coldly. She finally spoke. "Who is Jake?" she snapped, trying to sound offended. But her voice showed her fear. I raised an eyebrow and said softly, "You tell me." The color instantly left her face. She stammered, looking for words, for excuses, for anything. I don't know what you are talking about," she insisted, her voice unsteady. I stood up slowly and walked over to the counter, picking up my phone. "Funny," I said, showing her a printed picture of her text messages. Messages she thought she had deleted. Late-night plans, private jokes, the name Jake showing up too many times to be a coincidence. "You might not understand what I am talking about," I said quietly, "but your phone certainly does." For a moment, the house was completely silent. Then came the tears, not from guilt, but from fear. She knew she was caught. "It was not what it looks like," she started, but I stopped her. "Stop the lies," I ordered. "You walked out of here without looking me in the eye. You told me not to wait for you, so I didn't. I just made sure you knew your secret was no longer a secret." Her voice broke into sobs as she realized I had known for much longer than she thought. She tried to explain that Jake was just a friend, that they had only met for drinks, but her phone showed a different story. Hotel bookings, private phone calls, and a message she sent him last week that read, "He thinks something is going on. Don't text tonight." I did not shout. I did not argue. I simply handed her a folder, bank statements, messages, and a letter from my lawyer. "You do not need to come back home anymore," I said. "You already left weeks ago?" Her knees gave way and she fell onto the couch crying. "Please do not do this. I made a mistake. I will fix it." But I had nothing left to give. "You told me not to wait," I replied, my voice very calm. "So I didn't. I moved on the moment you chose lies instead of love." She begged, saying she would end things, delete his number, go to counseling. But it is easy to ask for forgiveness when the truth finally traps you. I simply walked upstairs, leaving her there with her own silence. By morning, she was gone, her belongings half-packed, her eyes empty. She left a note on the table saying she was sorry, but the words did not matter. Her Jake had already ignored her once the trouble began, and she was left with only the remains of what she destroyed. I did not gloat. I did not try to get revenge. I just quietly rebuilt my life piece by piece without her. Her world had fallen apart, but mine finally started to heal. Months later, she tried to call me. I did not answer. Instead, I texted her the same words she had once said to me. "Don't wait for me.